Happiness can't be bought is one of those sentences that sounds wise until you look closely at a normal week. Happiness is not a yacht, it's a Tuesday that feels right. And Tuesdays can be engineered. You don't need a windfall to do it. You need to know which purchases actually improve your days, which ones only perform joy on a screen, and how to use money like a tool that shapes time, attention, and relationships. If you're on a budget, this is excellent news. The most powerful ways to buy happiness are cheap, small, and repeatable. What costs a fortune is trying to rent it from strangers. Start with a picture of the day you want to repeat, not the highlight reel, the real Tuesday. You wake rested, you eat something you enjoy, you move your body, you work on something that matters enough to keep you interested without owning you, you see or talk to someone you like, and the evening has a shape that doesn't end in a scroll. That day is made of inputs and defaults, not of trophies. Money helps when it purchases the conditions that make that day easy to achieve. We don't buy happiness directly, we buy the scaffolding that lets it grow. The first category is time. Time is the engine room of happy days, and a budget can buy more of it than you think. Set aside a tiny time fund each month to eliminate one recurring time sink. Pay for a batch errand once, groceries delivered on the week you're slammed, a once-a-month deep clean that prevents weekends from dissolving into chores, a tool that shortens a regular task by 20 minutes. You are not outsourcing your life, you're unjamming your calendar so your best hours land where they pay you back. The trick is to pick one friction at a time, measure the relief, and keep only what earns its keep. Many people waste money on convenience because they never cancel experiments that didn't work. Your budget buys happiness when it buys time you can feel and name. The second category is attention. Phones and feeds are vending machines for other people's priorities. For the price of a paperback or a library card, you can choose inputs that make you feel alive rather than inflamed. Spend on a used bookshelf and fill it with books that answer questions you actually have. Buy a simple lamp with warm light where you read. Pay a few dollars for a premium podcast or music subscription that replaces noise with something that teaches or calms. Move apps off your home screen, remove saved cards, and add bank alerts that warn you before just browsing turns into just bought. The micro spends that protect attention are happiness purchases because attention is what your memories are made of. Third is the body. Sleep, movement, food, because a tired body is a bad economist. You don't need a boutique gym and a blender that costs rent to feel good. Spend on basics that turn effort into habit. A decent pillow, blackout curtains, a cheap white noise machine, shoes that don't hurt, a jump rope or resistance bands, a used bike, a yoga mat that doesn't slide. Stock a house menu of 10 meals you enjoy that are cheaper than takeout and quicker than indecision. The goal is not to become an athlete, it is to become a person whose body lets their brain do what it wants. Happiness purchased here looks like energy at 4 p.m. and patience at 6:30. Those hours are where most days succeed or fail. Fourth is connection. Money spent on people beats money spent on things you use alone. Host dinner, yes, even in a small place. A bag of pasta, a jar of sauce, a loaf of bread, a salad you actually like, music you care about, cheap, and you'll talk for hours. Buy a second set of thrift store plates and forks so hosting doesn't feel like a logistical test. Keep a hospitality basket with tea, coffee, candles, and a playlist so preparation is a switch, not a project. Buy a birthday calendar and stamps to mail 3 cards a month. Pay for one train ticket to see someone you miss. The best friends in your life will not inspect your countertops. They will remember that you asked about their week and had a chair for them. Happiness here is measured in names on your calendar, not in labels in your kitchen. Fifth is experiences, specifically the trio of anticipation, savoring, and memory. The science is clear. A modest experience you plan, enjoy, and remember produces more lasting happiness than an object that becomes background. If you're on a budget, design small adventures with long tails. Plan a day trip using a free museum day. Reserve a sunrise, not a restaurant. Pack a picnic and a book for a park you haven't visited. Start a tiny tradition. First Friday's movie nights at yours, second Sunday's potluck brunch, third Thursday's board games. Spend a little on props that extend the arc, a nice thermos for coffee at dawn, a cheap photo printer to tape 1 photo per month on the fridge. When you widen the time window around an experience, before, during, after, the cost per hour of happiness plummets. Sixth is competence. Buying happiness means buying the ability to do things you enjoy without paying a professional every time. A $25 set of screwdrivers, a $15 sewing kit, a $30 sharp chef's knife, a $40 cast iron skillet, a $50 set of bike tools, these are tiny investments that create self-respect and future savings. Take one class where your hands learn something: knife skills, basic bike maintenance, a free coding tutorial, a library workshop on home repairs. Competence inoculates you against the helplessness that drives expensive decisions under pressure. It also manufactures pride, one of the cleanest, cheapest fuels humans know. Seventh is beauty, not the algorithmic kind, the kind your eyes rest on. Buy a plant and an inexpensive pot. Watch yourself water it. Hang art that means something to you, a printable you love, a postcard, a thrifted frame around a poem you copied. Spend $10 on a dimmable bulb so evenings feel like evenings, not an office. Beauty is not maximalism, it's arrhythmia corrected, light, order, something alive. When your rooms feel cared for, you treat yourself like someone worth caring for. That is happiness hiding as housekeeping. Eighth is generosity. The cheapest way to feel rich is to act like you have enough to share. Put a small giving line in your budget and automate it. It can be $5, it can be $50. Buy a friend coffee, drop a meal on a doorstep, send a book to someone who mentioned they were curious, give to a cause that fixes something you can't. The act rewires your relationship with money from scarcity to agency. It also buys you out of the cynicism that says only huge gifts matter. Pocket-sized kindness is a happiness engine that runs on very little fuel. Next is meaning. Happiness without meaning tastes like a snack, good in the moment, empty an hour later. Meaning is built when your actions line up with your values over time. You can spend toward that alignment. Buy materials for a project that serves, repairing bikes to donate, making meals for a shelter, tutoring supplies. Pay for a course that moves you toward the work you want to do, even if the move is small. Save for a sabbatical month you'll take in 2 years. Meaning is easier to fund when you break it into steps. Write the next application fee into your budget, buy the book the mentor recommended, set aside for the exam. Happiness shows up as a byproduct when you see yourself becoming someone you respect. 10th is subtraction. You can buy happiness by removing the things that make your week worse. A $12 pack of felt pads ends the screech of chairs on floors. A $20 door sweep silences a draft. A $15 organizer stops the avalanche in the closet. Replacing the one pan that sticks with a decent used one erases 50 small annoyances a year. Subtraction is the least glamorous spending because it produces nothing you can post. It produces peace. You can hear it when you walk in the door and nothing asks to be fixed. What about big dreams? Travel, home improvement, education. Budgets hate vague goals because vagueness always loses to a sale today. Name the dream, price it, break it into envelopes, start a photo album for it with pictures and notes, sell one unused item to seed the fund, put a countdown on the fridge. Every time you move money into that envelope, you feel the future come closer. That feeling is happiness you can buy for the cost of patience. Work, the place you trade time for money, can be reshaped to buy happiness without a raise. Use a cheap notebook to keep a brag document of outcomes. Ask for projects that increase your leverage. Spend a little on your workspace, a better chair cushion, a plant, a lamp, so your day feels human. Bring lunch you like, eat it outside when weather allows. If commuting eats you, run the math on moving one ring closer or changing your schedule. Small spending here changes 240 days a year. That's a bargain compared to a weekend you forget by Monday. Your neighborhood is a store full of happiness nobody advertises. Libraries, parks, community centers, walking groups, pickup games, free concerts. You can buy connection with time and presence. Spend a little on a trolley pass or a bike repair. New rooms and faces rearrange your brain away from comparison and toward participation. The human animal gets happier when it belongs. Belonging is the cheapest luxury on earth, and it starts when you show up twice. If you live with someone, buy happiness for both of you with rituals that protect the relationship from money friction. 2 small personal allowances, a weekly 10-minute money and plans meeting with an agenda, 1 number, 1 win, 1 adjustment, a shared list of cheap dates, a rule for gifts, a drawer where receipts live until you scan or toss. You're not trying to impress each other with purchases, you're trying to impress each other with competence and kindness. That shows up in how smoothly the home runs more than in what arrives in boxes. And if your budget is so tight that it squeaks, if you're choosing between bills, your happiness purchases will be about stabilizing first. Buy food that nourishes cheaply and keeps you steady. Buy bus passes to get to work on time. Pay the minimums and call creditors before you miss to arrange hardship plans. Spend time at the library or with a friend instead of in stores. The compounding of calm begins with 2 consecutive months that don't contain financial emergencies. The joy may be small and plain at first. It counts, it grows. There's a sentence worth taping where you'll see it. I buy the day I want to repeat. If the thing you're considering doesn't improve that day, save your money. If it does, if it buys time, attention, health, connection, competence, beauty, generosity, meaning, or subtraction, you're not splurging. You're investing in ease. Ease is not laziness. Ease is how you treat your future self with respect. At the end of a year spent this way, your photos will be boring to the algorithm and beautiful to you. People on your couch, plates on your table, sun on your face, a stack of books with dog-eared pages, a repaired thing you love, a pair of shoes with miles in them, a park you know by season, a notebook with crossed-off plans. Your bank account will be sturdier because you stopped renting feelings and started